Hey guys, how's it going? This is probably going to be about part 3 on the 65 Econoline pickup that I rescued from our property that's been sitting and not well loved. On this episode, we're going to go get into all that. Let's get that manifold off of there. I think it's alive. It's got a heartbeat. It's got a pulse. So how do you think those are going to go about cracking loose after 56 years of being stuck in one location? Let's go just pick one. Let's see. Persuasion on it. Like I expected anything better, right? Yeah. Let's go try another one. I don't know if that's twisting, breaking. One more. One thing I don't want to get into is having to drill every single one of them out, breaking them off, you know. Penetrating oil is really not going to do anything. Heat, I don't think we can really get heat up into a good spot. I kind of wonder if maybe we put an air gun on it, if we can. There's enough room, and give the impact of the hammer to give the shock coming through it. See what we're gonna dig up. Yeah, there's not gonna be enough room for an impact gun, so I'm gonna just try going for broke once I get in here. I think 14, they're kind of rotted down. 14 seems to be a nice tight fit. Let's try beating it with a hammer. See if it likes it. Get the feeling I know the answer to it, but yeah, it's going to be one of those days, and the problem is it's rotted right on the shoulder of the bowl is rotted to the intake manifold. We may exhaust manifold. We may end up losing that whole thing. You guys are yelling at me right now, aren't you? Good time for an engine upgrade. This one's cracked. This one's got a crack in it already right here too. say we try some heat. Let's go with this one next. There is a ½ inch of meat between that and the manifold. Probably gonna end up drilling on. Here's the reason why it's getting done though. There's, you see the gasket's absolutely gone out of the middle in between there. That has to come off. And the biggest thing is, again, this is the intake manifold is part of the head, does not come off. So any drilling and or tapping is going to be a little bit more on the difficult side. We'll try it. That one will drill out. It goes right through on the other side, so I'm not that concerned. Possibly if you get the manifold off, it could weld a nut to it and try getting it to free. I'm not giving it much hope. That thing's gutless. Any difference? Get on there. Come on, times of the virtue. What the hell? Because the nut's friggin' in it, that's why. Dipshit. That was all for nothing. She's gonna snap. Or maybe not. I got some play out of it. These are the ones I'm really concerned about too, because those are the through holes. These are the non-through holes, I should say. They're the one next to it. You just drill out, and if you need, just put a nut on the other side. But these, should probably get a better lighting setup for you guys, huh? Look at that. I mean, you're yelling at me for not doing that in the first one, right? Learning curve. Just want to grab that with your fingers and spin it, don't you? I'm going to be able to get heat to the bottom ones. There's two down below. I think that's out. There we go. Does that look like it snapped off? That might have. I think that's broke too. Yeah. No, it was threaded in somewhat. Can't tell. A few of those to go. Here, mix victim. You can get a little bit of play out of them. I think it's twisting down the length of the bolt though. This one's a long one. I need to grab me a leather glove. It's really putting a lot of pressure on that. We'll heat it up again. Yeah, it's twisting down the length of it. Get a snap. You think, was that crack a crack or was that a crack loose? People are going to say, why don't you put fluids in there? The problem with it, as soon as you put heat on it, it just kind of burns it away. And it's uphill. It's not like you're soaking it and it's able to run down around it. It may get some capillary action, but for the most part, it ain't happening. I've done this long enough to know when some stuff is kind of useless. These are the ones I'm most concerned about. Like I said, these do not, they're a blind hole. Insert your joke there. So we're gonna have to take the starter off, make some room down that end. It might help us to try to get some heat up under here. I'm debating whether to take the carburetor off. The only problem with that is it's got a hard fuel line. I guess I could. Well, if we didn't blow up on this one, these are the closest ones to the carburetor, so maybe we'll be alright. Oh, you're yelling at me to get a ratchet. Alright, well. Not put a 1/4-inch socket on a 3/8 ratchet. That is not coming out like it's expanding the threads and like it's coming out of the block. That's coming out like it's broke. I think that's broke. And need a screwdriver. Put some back pressure behind it. Oh, just weld the manifold on. Yeah, it's, that one's screwed. Yeah. That is the sign of death right there. Let go. Let go. Yeah. Right at the head. Oh, my torch was acting up. There was a glob of solder down the inside of it. It was giving a weird pattern. That's got a little bit more heat in it. I can get on it fast enough. That manifold's broke, see it? Yeah, that'll be another one of the same. Yeah, it's springy the whole way, you know? So I get that little... Another one bites the dust. I see a pattern here to you. So the one closest to the fan on the bottom, I ended up going cold and it came right out. So I decided to do the same. Because sometimes what happens is that where you really need the heat is up near where it threads into the head. Yeah. Much rust disappeared from there. I think we got this one, the outer ones. Those are nuts and bolts. That top one there, I don't see it. This one right here. Bolt ends, they're just nuts and bolts. We cut those off. They look like it's got an issue as far as missing some material. We got one more right there. Probably gonna end up pulling that starter out of the way. Let's see. Where is it? Where you hiding? Yeah. Out the starter. So cut the head off of this one with a whiz wheel. Let's see if we can kind of get it to break off the rest of the way. There we go. Just trying to be gingerly around the cast part of it, but. There. It's oddly satisfying. Hey. I think what's going to hold us up is the one right here that broke off. That one. Don't want to really pry on much. I'm going to get a plastic mallet and like tap on it a little bit, see if I can shake it loose. Not sure what you guys can see. Let's go. It's pumping rust out. That's a good sign. I have a feeling we're going to be buying a new exhaust manifold anyway, just because so many tabs are broke off. I'm gonna do that for a while. I've been tapping away like crazy. Let's. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of persuasion between the two. It's hung up in the middle. Can't be much holding it. The bottom of that cast is broken right off. It's not even a complete hole going around. It's just half of one. Going around with half a hole. It could lead to shitty mess. Come to me. Come to me. There's a clamp on the. There's a clamp down here holding this pipe up a little bit. Not really hurting anything. I'm gonna loosen it up to let that pipe slide down out of our way a little. Alright, got a little room now. See if we can get the wiggle effect going. We're getting close. That was only next to impossible, huh? Oh boy. We got 1, 2, 3. That one's not even connected. There's the one now. Because I forgot one, that's why. Oh, you suck. Yeah, that one right there. There's your problem. You're a meathead. So we got these 3 across the top are broke. And they go. Well, that one's a sucky one. That one's no problem. That one goes through. Worst case, you just drill it through. That one has to come out. And that one has to come out. And that one goes through. And then whatever happens on this bottom one. Yeah, let's go try that bottom one now. That didn't affect much. Good that it's coming out. Because that would have been a sucky one too. Good. I'm going to try pricing a new manifold. Just because it's got so many tabs broken off of it. Had to do it again. Probably what I should have done was smash the manifold right off. And you see how well that bolt was seized onto there? That's where the problem is. We want to try vice grips first. We'll throw a pair of vice grips on them. See what we get. Alright. Let's try heat, but I just want to. I might just put it on its own. Feels like it's going. That's a little warm. I got 3 more to do that on. Wish me luck. And sometimes you just got to make your own tools. And why would you do that, you say? Because I cannot choke up enough on the last one. Get power on it to get it to turn. Ha! You know, and have another specialty tool for the stash. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Good thing I got a ton of ice scrapes too. This is probably $1 at a yard sale. $1 well spent. And now we have a custom extractor tool. What happens is you can't get enough power. You know, the closer to the pivot point you are, the more power you get on the jaws. So I was only able to grab it from the very outer edge. And you probably only had about 1/3 the clamping force. I can smell it. This is the last one too. I love the smell of victory. Rusty victory. So I went and quickly looked, and new manifolds are like $84. Ha! We got them all. Actually, it was not bad at all. The ones that I was kind of questioning whether they broke or came out, they did come out. But we look pretty good. We have them all. Probably run a file, maybe across a flat file across that. Not that we can really do too much about it. I wouldn't expect that surface to warp too much. The manifold, on the other hand, that could be pretty much anywhere. Good. The old manifold, on the other hand, not so good. Yeah, they were pretty much all broke off. So that one was broke off completely already. That one is the one I forgot to take the bolt out of, and I broke it. One side of that one was broken and be holding on by the other side. You can see where the bolt was all seized to it. That one's been long gone. That one's been long gone. What do you think it looks like? Not that this is a perfectly flat bench, but we can give ourselves an idea what we got. It's sitting up on the bolt on that one. Not terrible. It's got still old gasket material on it too. It's not helping it. It's like cracking it right there. That thing was shot anyway. See, it was a crack, and then it rusted itself shut. And then it rusted itself shut after it probably sat for a long period of time. So that was only that was not long for this planing anyway, and I don't have to deal with those. It's now 5 days later, and we can replace that with shiny parts. Go see if we can find some hardware. So here's one of the old ones. They did not stick out that far. Looks like only about 3 or 4 threads. It's probably not that much room in the head. Let's go see what the magic box of hardware has to offer. I might have to cut something maybe. Suck in your belly. I told you to suck it in. We need is all everything in here standard hardware. We might have over here. Apparently they're slippery. Yeah, it's way overshot. Let's go look over here. So we can cut those down. These are probably going to be too short, right? Yeah, do we have a happy medium? Brass ones, you want to put brass ones in? What would that do when it heats up? Of course, they're the right size. Oh, and we need long ones too for up there. I got 2. How many do we need? 2. Well, there you go. That works out. How should they stick out? Yeah, we can cut those down if we have to. And I think 2 on the end are just nuts and bolts. So we are going to need... How many do we need? I think we need to make... we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7. I think the outer 2 we don't use them. Make them fit. Let's see what kind of room we have to work with. It actually goes up. Let's go check them all. That one's not very far. That one's shorter. Surprised they use such a short bolt. Checking the other ones out. That's the one that's broke off, and then we got another one that's broke off right there. I wonder if we should cut there's like a support rib right here. I wonder if we should take a grinder maybe and cut that, at least a notch in it somewhere, so that we can get a bite on it. Now we can have a bolt come through here. I think they have like a washer cocked on an angle trying to hold it. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Hopefully you can see, because I can't see the camera. We're going to clean up. We're going to chase the threads. Make a mess. That's right. And I'm lazy, so we are going to use run the drill in. All the holes, clean them all up, and come back with an air gun and blow out any of the crap in there. That way we'll get an idea how long the bolts will actually feed in there. I tried putting one in and went in 2 threads and stopped. So I want to see if I can at least notch it so that I can get a washer in there. Hopefully we tighten it down, it doesn't crack something. Is my only concern. This cast is not that strong. Am I gonna be able to get in there? be a little contorted. We'll give it a shot. Okay, can't see a thing, can you? Better of an angle. See if I can change that up a little. Might be able to do it. Get different size washers too. Yeah, I think if we grind the tail end of that a little bit, I'm going to try to undercut that a little bit more, so that it's more perpendicular. Is that what I want? And the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, I redefined that. That looks pretty good. I think that should work for us. And then it kind of has something to pull on too, you know. Let's go run some hardware in. The bottoms are more shallow. Very shallow. Ones up top are more upstanding. So we're gonna max out. Plus that wasn't a bottoming tap, you know. That's right about the thickness of the manifold. We still have a locking washer to go on there. I think I'm gonna knock a couple threads off each one. Knock about maybe a 1/4 inch or a yeah. I'll put a nut on there. Seven more times. I'm used to seeing dashes and numbers for the hardness, but what does L stand for? This is really old hardware too. This is probably from the 60s or the 70s. I haven't seen that before. One of you's gonna tell me, I know. So I ran into a bit of a problem. Just checking out the pipe setup. And that is nowhere near what that is. And I ordered, there's two sizes, there's a 2-inch and a 1 3/4. I'm not quite sure where they measure from. I got the 1 3/4, and I would definitely call that 1 3/4, not 2. And 1 3/4 across the opening too. So how is that going to work for us? You can't get a small one, it's got a shoulder on it. We can cut that off. Can we get a smaller donut? Right? If we cut that off, it'll have a flange to... You know what? Why does this have a flange here? I wonder if this is not even supposed to be there. That's metal too, not composite. I'm saying the original stuff was right. What if Can we? That feels pretty close, actually. Get it in the right direction. What I see is that if I try putting it on the correct angle, I should probably leave that pipe in. That's what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I could try it. I don't think there's all that much holding that exhaust up, so even if later on, if we have to, maybe that's what we'll do. What is this right here? Let's go massage that lip. I'll take a wire wheel, I'll clean this up. I'll clean these surfaces up too while I'm here. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a gasket or just, you think that's just flaky rust maybe? Yeah, I think it's just flaky rust. Has there ever been one that just goes metal on metal, like a knuckle like that? How far up is that going to be? So that flange, even if the pipe comes down to there, will still leave a decent gap. It's not going to smash into it, you know. You got to run the nuts up. It's a mystery, I tell you. Get that flange to go. And about the best we're gonna get it. I'll just throw those studs in there before I forget. I get the strange feeling we're gonna be dropping that exhaust pipe and cutting that flange off. That's the only explanation I can't see the pipe being any different. If I got the 2-inch manifold, right, it would have fit. Yes, no? Yeah. I don't know. How do you know? You know? Yeah, and that hole that's in there, that is for a automatic choke. Piece of tubing would come out of there and radiate heat up to the choke filament, heat that up, and open it up. This has a manual choke on it so it doesn't get used. But yeah, that's what the hole was used for. So I had to go look it up on what side the exhaust manifold gasket sticks out. And FeltPro says if it has a shiny metal side on one side, that side faces out towards the manifold. Problem is I've seen it done both ways. It doesn't really matter, but that's what we're gonna put it on. See how it works out. I wonder if it's for, because the manifold, as it heats up and cools off, expands and contracts. I wonder if it's able to slide on this surface more. Maybe that's why. What do you think? Getting all the bolts in. So on this side, it's got an Allen set up. So that washer is keyed in like we talked about. And it's got a fairly decent amount of support around it. But on the other side, it's just nothing right there. I got the washer locked in, but it's not really gonna hold, you know? So my thinking is, what if we take that piece that broke off out of the manifold, we tap that off, maybe we just kind of wedge it in there for some support to keep the washer straight, and maybe it'll pull down on it. See what happens. Yeah, so we can get that off of there without it shattering. And we got a prize. I guess if it's a little too small, we probably grind it down a little bit too. All tightened up. We'll see how that one makes out. Again, the washer's grabbing the back half of it, kind of like pivoting off of it. And that, I don't know, you're going to find out. I'm going to give it 80% chance it's going to leak. It won't leak major, but it's going to, you know, definitely be a leak. We can always get the pipe that comes down and just get the smaller diameter with that. Cut into its 85 horsepower, you know. Let's go pop the linkage back on. Oh, we got to put a starter in it yet, too. Put the starter back in. Put the gas can where it was. I think we can fire it up and have a listen, huh? All right, I think we're at that point. We can fire it up. And hopefully, well, it's going to be quieter than what it was, but hopefully it's nice and quiet. Here's my other battery terminal. Alright, we need choke. Very little. That worked out better than I thought. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's gonna burn off the crap. I think if I loosen them up, kind of wiggle it around a little bit, tighten them up a little bit, kind of seat it in the socket. Seems like everyone I've seen on the internet has a leaky manifold. I think it just purrs like a kitten, don't it? Nice. The cap is loose, people are asking. You don't have a vent for that. The cap isn't down all the way, so it could draw it through. Got a heartbeat. Nice. Man, that sounds good. It's quiet. What do you think, Lee? I think the exhaust is good all the way up to about the last 8-10 inches. Go kill it. Or it kills us. Nice. Give it a shot again. I gotta pump it. Both lights come on. Oil light takes a second to come on too, which is good. Alright. I gotta air out. Hey guys, so I think we're getting to the point. I'm gonna go home. It's about 11, 12 at night. So I want to get into making more of my own sheet metal parts. And I already have a shrinker stretcher that I got at a scrapyard. The brake, so I could bend straight pieces of metal. I want to get into making some of the more curved pieces. So I've been looking at, well, two things. A English wheel setup and a planishing hammer. I started first looking at the cheap ones. You know, you can get them Harbor Freight, $150, $200 for a setup. The Problem is, I've seen online that the dies are not true. You spin them up on a lathe and they're all over the place. So you're rolling a piece of metal through it. It's getting tight, loose as you're rolling it, and it doesn't make a consistent curve, especially when you're trying to make, you know, like a corner like that. The other thing I saw, they make a kit that you weld up and make your own, but I don't really notice too many people making videos or anything on that. Have any of you guys tried to do that? And how did it turn out? And they're expensive too. They're not cheap. They're like 700, 800 bucks. You know, I'm sure the hammer part of it's in nice shape. The English wheel, I'm not sure. I think they sell kits for the English wheel too. But I'd like to get those two pieces. When we get into start making some of the metal work, you know, even just like, yeah, you're making the dog leg down here, and it's got the curve to it. So I want to be able to just, you know, start making some of those pieces instead of buying them, that kind of stuff. So, all right, guys. I've been babbling. I'm gonna go shut her down. I want to thank you all for hanging out in the garage with me and working on rusty junk. Yeah, I gotta try making that floor. It's gone. So I'm gonna try making some of these panels. I think you can buy them too, but yeah, we're cutting that section in there. All that's blown out. The underneath the back is all gone. I don't think these are all that. Again, all this stuff is kind of straight. It's got a belly pan roll to it, but when we don't have to make it exactly like factory, as long as we make it so it's strong and looks decent. I'm not that picky. All right, guys. What I'd like to get farther along, I was going to go pull the wheels off and look into what it needs for brakes and start ordering the parts. We just didn't get that far. So that's probably what we'll get into next time. With that, thank you all for hanging out and turning some wrenches. Later.